Hoi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Daisuke, do we still have the BGM going there? It's pretty loud in my phones.
BGM.
What am I hearing? Oh, there you go. It stopped.
Okay.
Hoi.
Remember, YouTube is kind of 40 seconds delay kind of latency thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. こんばんは。
こんばんは. Hello, everybody.
Bennett-Kuroda Show 東京ソングセレブレーションです。
Yes. Those of you who follow the show know that Tokyo Song Celebration means we have a special guest that we feature once a month on the second Tuesday of the month. And we'll get to that in just a little minute. But Daisuke, how have you been, man?
はい、割と忙しくしてましたね、私は。
忙しいでしょう。
Yeah, I've been doing online lesson stuff and also a lot of recording stuff. Also, I just went to Karuizawa a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, how was that? What was going on in Karuizawa?
軽井沢にね、私先日行ってきまして、一昨日かな、お知り合いのボーカリストの方がですね、別荘軽井沢に持ってて、でそちらにお呼ばれして行ってきたんですよ。別荘ってなんて言うんでしたっけ？
別荘はvacation home.
Vacation home.
Yeah, or second home. Usually you say like a vacation home.
おー、なるほど。
Yeah. So that singer has a vacation home up in Karuizawa?
Yes.
And you had a gig with her up there.
Oh, we didn't play a gig. It was just hang out.
Oh, nice. A vacation.
Yeah, really vacation.
In a vacation home.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Karuizawa is beautiful, man. Those of you out there who don't know, Karuizawa is one of the popular kind of mountain resorts in Japan. And I believe Karuizawa was first kind of settled and developed by foreigners, actually, wasn't it?
I think so. That's what I heard, too. I heard a lot of Canadian people, I guess.
Yeah, Canadians, maybe Americans, maybe Europeans. Yeah, I think they started a little some expats and foreigners living in Tokyo who had a little bit of money decided to start a little community out in the mountains, especially to get out of the hot Tokyo summer. So they go up there and have a little vacation home or something. And of course Karuizawa has turned into it's a famous town for recreation. There's a huge golf course up there.
Oh yeah.
Golf すごい人気ですよね。
ね。
Yeah, maybe more than one golf course. It's just golf courses everywhere up there.
I guess so. Yeah.
You don't play golf, do you?
No, I'm not.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I'm not really good. Actually, I tried it when I was junior high かな。
Oh, really?
I went to Canada for homestay で2 weeks ぐらい。And in that time, like it was junior high のclassmates とteachers となんか town exchange kind of idea ね。
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, there are some adults, people coming with us. Like it was like maybe 7 or 8 childs and 5 or 6 adults, and then like somehow like we all gotta go to the golf course in Canada, right? And like all the kids, like nobody really interested in, but I guess that's what they want to do. So I tried it, but it's no, I can't really hit the ball. I was a baseball club team. I was in the baseball club team that time. But I can hit the ball if it's moving, but like if it's just sit there, I can't do it.
Miss it every time.
そう、すごいダメ。すごい下手くそ。
Well, yeah, golf, man. I never had any use for golf either. They took me golfing once when I was a little kid. Yeah, kind of like you, maybe. I don't know. I was about 12 or something. I hated it, man. I was like, get me out of here. Out in the hot sun, trying to knock this little tiny ball around into these tiny holes. I was like, what? Get me home. I want to play the drums, man.
Yeah.
Yikes. So one thing I wanted to mention for those of you out there listening who are Bennett-Kuroda fans, because hello Bennett-Kuroda fans. I did want to mention, in case you don't know it, we have a new release at Bandcamp, and it's a double A-side single. That means it's 2 songs kind of together. They don't have to be together, but they are. And one of them is called Virginia Ham. And as a matter of fact, if you listen to the opening music on our Bennett-Kuroda show, little kind of rock and roll feel, that is the instrumental track to Virginia Ham. Isn't that right, Daisuke?
そうですね。はい。我々、両 A 面シングルという形でね、2曲入りの、シングルを今回リリースしまして、それがバージニアハームっていう曲が入ってるんですけども、このライブ配信の時にね、毎回オープニングでもう間もなく始まりますよっていうところでは、そのなんていうか、インストバージョンが流れております。はい。
日本語でインスタバージョン。
インストですね。
インストい
や、インストゥルメントのインストロメンインストゥルメント。
いや、インストロメンタル。
インストゥルメンタルだね。
インストゥ
ルメンタルです。はい、カタカナは。
そう。
はい、インストゥルメンタルですね。インストです。はい。
Yeah, thank you for the katakana lesson.
そう、カタカナね。
Yeah, wow, it's tough. Sometimes I try to guess how are you going to say an English word in katakana. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's an instrumental version that we opened the show with of a song called Virginia Ham. So that is now available as one half of our double A-side single. And the other half is a song that we've been doing for a while, but we didn't release until just recently, and that's called Marie Laveau.
はい。もう一曲の方はね、マリー・ラボーっていう曲なんですけど、これなんかずっとね、我々やってて、多分すごく最初の頃からライブではよくやってた曲なんですけども、レコーディングでね、As Luck Would Have It のレコーディングの時にもちろんこの2曲やってたんだけども、曲数今回多くて、で他の曲とのバランス見た時にとりあえず今回はこの2曲入れない判断をしましょうっていうことになって入んなかったんですけど、一応この As Luck Would Have It の一環として我々レコーディングしたやつですよね。
Yeah, as he says, those were 2 songs that we recorded back when we were making our record, As Luck Would Have It, our album, and we didn't put those on the album, and we've just released them now. So that brings us to the following point. Here.
はい、こちらです。
SamBennett.bandcamp.com. SamBennett.bandcamp.com. If you go there, you can find the double A-side single, the brand new release from Bennett-Kuroda. And we hope you'll go over there and listen to it. You can listen to it for free. And you can download it for a couple of bucks, $2. You can't even get a coffee at Starbucks for $2, but you could get 2 of our songs. What do you think about that?
It's a good deal.
My goodness. Yeah. Hey, Diego is here with us. It says, "Good evening, my friend."
Diego さん、こんばんは。
Hey. We're gonna move right into Diego's video in about another 2 minutes. Paul Morris is here from London.
Hi, Paul-san. Good evening. Good morning, I guess.
Good morning. He says you can't see, but I just had a shave, especially. Well, that's good to know, Paul. Good to know you're staying clean shaven, man. In this time of pandemic. Gotta still keep up appearances.
今日のね、
If only for your cats.
ゲストはですね、ディエゴ・ダビデンコさんでね、東京ソングセレブレーションの方にも、ゲストで、出てくれまして、で、日本語で、ちょっとこれビデオの中で出てくるんですが、日本語ほとんど喋ってないので、その動画の中で、ちょっと軽くこういう人だよという紹介を日本語でさせてもらおうと思うんですけども、アルゼンチンっていう、
そう。He was born in Argentina. Argentina.
で、アルゼンチン出身なんですけども、アメリカで幼少期を過ごして、で、またアルゼンチンにちょっといて、で、またアメリカに行って、で、結局また、今度は日本に住んでて、日本には3年ぐらい住んでる方ということで、で、ベネット・クロダ賞の、東京ソングセレブレーションの方でも出てくれたんだけど、日本語で曲を書いて、歌詞をね、で、日本語で歌ってるっていう結構珍しい、シンガーソングライターの方で、でもちろん英語で曲書いてアルバムを出してるんだけども、最近は英語で書くのはほとんど興味なくて、全部日本語で曲は書いてるんだよみたいな話をしておりました。はい。まあそのビデオがね、はい、今日のインタビュービデオがこの後流れますけれども。
That's right. A lot of that stuff gets explained in the video, although there's not a lot of Japanese used in the video, so it's good that you mentioned some of those points and explain them in Japanese. So yeah, let's we can move right into it. Let me just say Mel Ushikubo has commented. Hi guys.
こんばんは。
Miss ya. He says miss ya.
お久しぶりで
We
す。
miss you too. 久しぶりね, Mel. And well, you know what? Whenever you're ready, Daisuke, we can just roll the first part of the interview. First part of the interview with Diego Davidenko.
はい。じゃあ、スタートします。
Good evening, friends.
こんばんは。
こんばんは。Good evening.
We are here tonight with a special edition of the Bennett-Kuroda Show. As you regulars know, we have something we call Tokyo Song Celebration, where we feature the music of some of the various singers and songwriters and musicians that are here in our wonderful Tokyo town. And Daisuke, tonight we have none other than Diego Davidenko.
Diego さん、こんばんは。
こんばんは。Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. So, just by way of a brief introduction, we did have Diego perform live at our live version of Tokyo Song Celebration a few months ago. Well, more than a year ago, obviously.
Yeah, more than a year ago.
A year and a half ago, maybe, something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
And it was a lovely performance. Daisuke and I both really, really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if we were still doing Tokyo Song Celebration live, we probably would have had you back by now. But we're doing this online thing, so that's the next best thing, we figure.
Best thing we've found yet so far.
Yeah, right. It's all we got. So just, in order to kind of introduce Mr. Davidenko to our listeners and viewers here, let me start with some basic questions. How long have you been in Tokyo or Japan? When did you come here?
Yeah, I've been here 3.5 years. I lived for 3 months in Kanagawa, right next to Tokyo. So in Tokyo for a little bit less than that, but generally I've been in this area the whole time.
But why Tokyo? Why did you come here?
Why Tokyo? Well, why'd you I mean, I guess if I was going to come to Japan, Tokyo seemed like the place to be. Why Japan? So I had a lot of Japanese friends in the States. I lived in the States and I lived in various places, and I think I moved 18 times while living there, and I ended up in the LA area for about 5 years and met a ton of Japanese people. And I just clicked really well. I found something in them that matched my personality, where we could talk easily, and there seemed to be some kind of shared, I don't know what it is, but some kind of shared feeling or spirit or something that attracted me. And I don't know, there's other reasons that I've discovered since arriving here. I don't know if it's, what I was thinking at the time, but the more I've been here, the more I realized that I don't know. I never really felt at home in the States. I mean, my first CD there was called "It Isn't Home," so
right. Yeah,
maybe I had a feeling. Maybe I had a feeling about it from the get-go.
I noticed that. And speaking of CD titles, I think your follow-up to that one also was "In an Empty Home."
In an empty house. Yeah.
So it's like those are both kind of like, definitely searching for something, or not necessarily feeling like you're in the right place yet. Maybe you're not home. Yeah.
Yeah. And somehow, I don't know. Like in the States, I've always felt like an outsider, but wasn't treated as an outsider. Whereas like in Japan, it's so clear.
It's clear that you're an outsider.
Yeah, there's no mistake about it, and there's a certain
you're
comfort
definitely
to that
outsider.
clarity. Yeah, there's a certain clarity to that is oddly comforting.
Yeah, that's a good point. I understand that. Speaking as a foreigner who's lived here for 25 years now, I always felt very comfortable with my status as an official outsider. And in fact, it's almost kind of liberating, It's kind of like a certain kind of liberation, because it gets complex, and there's a lot of, it's not so black and white, and there's a lot of gray areas, but on a general level, there's something that works for me as well about just being kind of like, not really inside the society, sort of.
Yeah.
You're not really in it, you kind of sort of in it.
And you never will.
Yeah. But I agree with you as well. I of course was born and raised in the States, but I don't know. I always felt like some kind of outsider in some way, no matter where I was. So maybe it's not even all that different,
Yeah. I mean, I was born in Argentina. So moved to the United States when I was 9. So I don't know, maybe that was part of my, I was a foreigner in the States too.
But
not 100%, because my culture is, not really Argentinian. I'm an American. Like, my culture is American. My best language is English, but so I'm not sure if that's where it came from, or maybe it's just something in me that didn't fit. But yeah.
Well, Argentina, wow. What I mean, I know you were only 9 when you left, but what are your memories of Argentina as a kid? What was it like to grow up there as a child?
What was it like?
Well,
yeah.
Any sort of impressions?
Sure. So I lived in Buenos Aires, a big city, on the 12th story of a building. I remember, I don't know, I remember kid things. Like, I remember we had a balcony that had this like metal grate, like with maybe like little squares, like maybe 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And we had these walkie-talkies that we would play with. And if you put the walkie-talkie up to that metal grate, like the antenna, you could hear some radio, and we thought that was the coolest thing.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Early experiments in sound and electronics.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, even then, I mean, so I was born in Argentina and lived there till I was 9, but really from the age of 2 to 5, I also lived in the United States.
Oh, okay.
So even in Argentina, I was kind of a bit of a foreigner, you know.
Oh, okay.
So it's always like this sense of having a root is not something I've ever really felt that I assume other people do.
Mm-hmm. And
I can see
Daisuke,
that.
you know, speaking of LA, Diego, Daisuke spent 5 years, 6 years in LA.
Yeah, about 6 years in LA. Yeah, when I was 19 till 25 or 26. So I know
those are key years.
Yeah, and I guess I can tell, you know, I guess you are in Orange County or something. You know, when you are in LA, no?
Were you in Orange County?
Was I?
Yeah, he's asking you.
No. I lived right in the heart of Hollywood for about 2 years, 2.5 years, and then I lived in Culver City, which is a bit closer to the beach. Yeah, no, I'm not from Orange County. What is this?
Oh,
what kind of interview is this?
Yeah. Well, Orange County is pretty famous Japanese town there.
I see.
Yeah. Like a
Is
lot
that
of Toyota or Nissan factory or company there. So whole town is pretty much Japanese people living there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Little Japan? I guess they call it
Tokyo?
Little Tokyo or Little
Yeah.
Japan. That's they've got one of those in LA, right?
Yeah, that's in downtown.
Yeah.
That's downtown. Okay,
But
okay.
it's just a one street.
Yeah, it's very small, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's another one too that they call Little Osaka.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's and that was like right near where I lived. It's also just one street, but it's on Sawtell. Officially, I think it's called Sawtell Japantown, but everyone calls it Little Osaka.
Little Osaka.
Hey, I didn't know.
And I guess there must be a couple of Japanese restaurants and maybe a Japanese food store.
There's a
or something
Daiso.
Oh, it's a Daiso.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Daiso.
Perfect. For those of you who don't know, who are not watching from Japan, Daiso is a chain of 100 yen shops. Big chain here in Japan. And
99 cents.
99 cent, like a dollar store. Although lately they're selling stuff for 200, 300, 400, 500 yen, 800 yen. You know, they had to break out of that 100 yen model because there's just not enough stuff you can still make and sell for 100 yen. Yeah. We could have a whole show about 100 yen stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Next
we're
week.
not. We're here to talk to Diego about his music. Now, one of the things that strikes me and Daisuke, and I'm sure a lot of other people who are, you know, are discovering you, is that you have started singing in Japanese.
Yes.
This is pretty, you know, it's pretty unusual. It's pretty unique. So, yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So it wasn't my intention when I first came here. But so when I decided to come to Japan, I decided to come to Japan and then gave myself a year to prepare and to study some Japanese, and got really into the language. It's just, I love learning Japanese. And I didn't study like via grammar books and things like that. I studied by reading, starting with, you know, children's stories, like really basic, like baby stories, and then just slowly moving up in complexity. And then when I arrived in Japan, I sensed that there was a separation between the Japanese musicians' music sphere and the foreigners' musicians' music sphere. There's a couple places where they overlap, but not all that much. And so I wanted to try to get into that Japanese singer-songwriter scene and realized that you know, my lyrics are very important to me in my music, and they were not really getting across, you know. My songs aren't pop songs. They don't have like a little easy hook that just repeats 100 times.
Right.
And so a combination of using songwriting as a way to study Japanese and also as a way to maybe connect with Japanese audiences. I started writing in Japanese, and I'm not sure why, but for the last couple of years, I haven't really had interest in writing in English.
Oh, wow.
It's just right now it's just a much more entertaining process, even though a much more difficult process to write songs in Japanese.
Oh. So the two songs that we're going to feature in videos on tonight's show, those are both songs that you wrote in Japanese. You didn't write them in English and sort of translate them?
No, I wrote them directly in Japanese.
Yes, すごい.
That's
すごい.
very impressive, man. That's very
Thanks.
cool. And then, I mean, of course, I could mostly follow your songs, although your Japanese as a 3-year resident is probably already 10 times better than my Japanese as a 25-year resident, because I'm just really lazy and I'm not good with languages. But I could, pretty much follow most of your lyrics. And I have to say, I think they just seem to work so well in Japanese that, in fact, I guess I'm not that surprised that you did, in fact, originally write them in Japanese. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, it seems very natural, It's totally natural.
I agree. Yeah, it's not if something like a kind of translate way to write the Japanese lyrics, I think it won't be matched as your melody and your music. I think I can tell that's coming from your Japanese into the music. I think it's a very nice match, and then it's, I think, easy to follow, even for Japanese people. So, great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very impressive, man. And well, on that note, let's listen to one of the tunes. We're gonna run a video now. One of 2 videos we're gonna see tonight that are both by Diego and in which he's singing in Japanese.
内緒事 or
静かな子.
静かな子. どっち which one?
Well, I don't know. Let's start with the Shizuka Nako. Let's do that. Are you ready? Roll it.
Shizuka na ko 頭の中でひそやかに何を考える美しいもの悲しいことも静かな子あなたの顔で神秘的なことを教えて私に見せて心を開いて静かでも強そう声を聞かせて静かでも大丈夫静かでも好き静かな子どこを見ているどんな夢があなたの中で潜んでいるの静かに踊る「 頭の中でひそやかに何を考えるそれはあなたを穏やかにする
So,
Oh, thank you.
there you have it.
Thanks.
Shizuka Nako.
Mm.
Now, that means quiet child. Yes?
Quiet child, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Those of you who, I think Naisho Goto has the Japanese and English subtitles on the video. Is that correct? Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I've
not-
started doing that now. But
Yeah, but not this one. But everyone should keep in mind that if you do want to see the video at YouTube, again, you can go to Diego's YouTube channel, and he does have English translation in the video description
yes.
for that song, as well as the Spanish. Isn't that right?
That's right. It's
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Spanish
pretty
too.
cool. Trilingual.
すごい。
man.
Yes.
But what? No Czech? No Polish? What's the matter with you, man?
My Polish and my Czech are just not up to translation.
Not up to snuff. Huh? Yeah, well, it's a totally charming video.
Yeah, I can
Um,
tell that's the Shimokitazawa area.
Yes.
Yes, I was living there.
Yes.
Yeah,
at the very beginning, especially. Yeah.
yeah. So that was filmed in two locations, in Shimokitazawa and in Inokashira Koen,
Ah, the
Inokashira
park one.
Park.
She was
Yeah,
on a lake ね。
Yeah, on the lake
スワン
pedaling.
ボートでしょ。
Exactly.
Swan boat, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a wonderful park.
Mm.
You know, Kashira,
うん。
Kichijoji, right?
So when did you shoot the video, Diego?
So that would have been, let's see, 2018, I guess. I think it was. I have a feeling it was November, but I've lost track of time in this last year, so I don't know when anything was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember we did it all in one day, all the shooting. So we started super early. Shimokita gets pretty crowded, so we wanted to, as much as possible, get shots without people in them.
Right.
There's a couple people that snuck into a few shots, and I was, we were talking a little bit about it earlier that Shimokita Station is being transformed right now. It's
Oh my God.
becoming much bigger.
It's
and
crazy.
And some of the places where we shot don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So like in the opening scene, I think, or one of the first scenes, she's sitting in front of this like white building with this little cartoon character behind her, like this yellow thing. Like that's no longer there.
Gone.
Yeah. So it's got what do they call those? The important monuments, the heritage site.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get this this video
You're right.
declared a heritage.
World cultural, world
Yeah.
heritage site. Right. Shimokita. Yeah, it's changed enormously, man.
Yes.
That station just became like a monster. I mean, it used to be a sort of charming, funky little old station, and now it's just like massive.
Yeah.
And the last several times I went to Shimokita, I would come out of that station and be like, where am I? I didn't even know where I was. It's like a completely different exit. It's like I've never even been to this part of Shimokita before, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very strange. But yeah, I think I recognize specifically the building, which I believe is in the very first shot, which has these sort of lattice work iron gates or something it's like a 2 or 3 story building. It's brown. And I think it's right on the way that I used to take all the time to go to a place that I used to play at called Never Never Land.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was on the way to there. Pretty sure that's the building. I was like, I know that building.
うん。
But yeah, what a charming video, and it's not just, of course, a charming video, but it's a really charming song.
うん。
Thank you.
I mean,
I
it just
really like
fits
that
perfect.
arpeggio stuff. And did you play your finger? No pick?
No pick. No
Ah.
pick.
But you
Yeah, it's
you
very-
also play with pick, right?
I never play with pick.
No, only fingers?
Yeah, I like to pretend that it's because I'm artsy, but I just I've never been able to play with a pick. I'm just not good at it. I don't know how to. It feels uncomfortable to hold it. I miss the. It's just. It just doesn't feel right. It never has. So.
Well, yeah, the guitar work is very delicate, appropriately for the tune, and also that violin playing is lovely.
Yes.
Now that's Yoshimi Sugiura,
Yes.
and is she someone that you work with like regularly in some way, or just
No, she's someone that I met at a language exchange, a Japanese English language exchange, and she's a musician, and she plays in a like a jazz band kind of thing, and yeah, we talked, and I told her about the song, and she was game for it. So yeah, she came. We kind of wrote it together, and then she recorded it. She also played live during the release concert for the
nice.
for the CD.
Excellent.
Yeah,
She sounds great.
yeah. She was
Really
great
added
support about it too.
really added a lot to the tune, and but just with your delicate guitar work and that beautiful violin playing, and your voice, it was still has so much space in the arrangement and so much air, and it's really nice and light, which seemed perfect for the song, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good job.
Great.
And
thanks.
was that recorded in a studio, or did you do those tracks at home, or what?
So, if as best I can remember, I recorded those in a rehearsal studio.
Oh.
On a day when I got lucky that there was no loud band next door.
Oh.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you just booked a little time in a rehearsal studio and brought your computer in and recorded the tracks.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I played guitar and voice at the same time.
Nice.
And then overdubbed the violin later.
And is that how you've recorded most of your stuff, or I guess it must be different situations for different recordings?
Yeah, I tend to like doing that, recording together, but it does make editing much more difficult. So I kind of go back and forth about what's the best way to do it. But yeah, I've got a few songs that I'm going to record soon, and that's one of the things I keep thinking about, how I want to do it. So.
Well, it's always yeah. There's so many ways to approach it.
Yeah.
It's just there's a certain immediacy, obviously, in just singing it while you're playing the guitar, and timing and all that kind of stuff. On the other hand, yeah, it makes it like, well, you got to love both performances, you know, your vocal and your guitar, and be happy with it all, you know.
Yeah. And also just recording it just myself here, without like an engineer, like, you know, that really knows what they're doing with microphones, and it's harder to get a nice sound out of the guitar and the voice when I'm doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
はい、戻ってきました。
Yeah, that was part 1 of our interview with Diego Davidenko.
はい、ディエゴさんのパート1の方のインタビューでした。この後パート2もね、収録してありますね。はい。
Yeah, there's more to come. What an interesting fellow. And I'm just so impressed. What he's doing with not just writing in Japanese, which is already very impressive, but his English lyrics are fantastic. And those of you who might be tuning in and listening to this video that you just heard, and in fact the one we're going to play in the second part, they're both in Japanese. He's singing in Japanese, but Diego has released a lot of music, over the last few years, and of course, almost all of that is in English. And as a lyricist myself, and as a general fan of good lyrics, I think his lyrics are just excellent. And so I want to just recommend to those of you who might be watching, who might not, of course, understand the Japanese or whatnot, to definitely check out some of the links in the video description below. A lot of links there to Diego's music. And I think if you're a fan of good lyrics, thoughtful lyrics, interesting lyrics, not to mention interesting chord changes and melodies, and pretty much everything you want in a songwriter, you should definitely check out some of those links to Diego's music, because it's pretty happening. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
はい、今ディエゴさんのね、日本語で作った曲をね、インタビューの方では聞いていただいたんですけれども、もう一個のインタビュービデオの方でも、彼の日本語の曲をね、流す予定なんですが、英語で作った曲っていうのは彼はいっぱいリリースすでにしておりますので、概要欄の方にですね、ディエゴさんのホームページとか YouTube、Spotify とか、Apple Music のリンクがありますので、そちらもぜひチェックしてみてください。サムさんが言うにはですね、その英語の歌詞がとても素晴らしくて、で、もちろん曲のね、コードチェンジとかハーモニーとかもすごく素敵なんだけど、歌詞がね、すごくいいんだよってサムさんが今言ってましたね。
That's right. That's right. So, hey, Mel says, yes, the first lyrics of the first song I saw him play hooked me right away. There you go. Mel Ushikubo. Mel was hooked, just like heroin. He was hooked on Diego straight away. Yeah, he's really, really talented guy. As we mentioned in the interview, we did have Diego at the live event, I guess about a year and a half ago, at Fuglen in Osaka, and everybody enjoyed that show. I know me and Daisuke really enjoyed a lot what he did. So, yes, Diego Davidenko.
ね、浅草のフーグレンでのね、この毎月やってたイベントっていうのが毎回ね、ゲストで日本在住のシンガーソングライターの方を呼んでやってたんだけどね、楽しかったけどね、なんかまたできたらいいなと思うけどね。どうなんでしょうね。ですね。
やりたいよ、あそこ。It's a nice place. In fact, the video right now going behind Daisuke is scenes from food. There I am getting a beer. There's Daisuke getting a beer. And there's music on stage. Actually, yeah, I recommend you check out Daisuke's playlist on his YouTube channel. He's got a playlist dedicated to the Tokyo Song Celebration editions of his daily vlog.
Hi.
So yeah, that's all there, man. All the stuff we did over a whole year.
そうですね。
With so many different artists. You know, it's all...
そうそう。プレイリストがありますんで、この東京ソングセレブレーションで我々が丸々1年やったイベントのね、それ概要欄にこれも貼ってありますので、ぜひ見てみてください。あ、こんな感じでやってたんだなって。ディエゴさんもその中には出てくれてますし、でこのオンラインバージョンになってからね、今日で4回目なんですけども、 今まで出てくれたゲストの方々も、出てくれてますよね。その浅草のイベントにね。1回目が、我々は T さん
T
ですか？
さんね。Yeah, T has been at both the live event and our online event.
うん。
And otherwise, our online guests have been Johnny Barefoot.
あ、そうだ、ジョニーさんが出てくれたんだ。でもジョニーさんは、東京ソングセレブレーションのこのフーグレンじゃなくて、我々がジョニーさんの浅草のインフィニティブックス
That's
の
right.
我々がゲストで参加したんだよね。
That's right. Yeah, we were his guests on his little series at Infinity Books in
そうそう。
Asakusa. That's right, Daisuke.
あれも楽しいイベントだったよね。インフィニティブックス。
Yeah, yeah, a little bookshop with a bar. Nice, nice vibe.
Yeah, nice
All my
combination.
favorite bookshops have bars in them. Nice beer on tap, you know. So yeah, you know, over here in the eastern part of town, man. You know, some people call it the dark part of town, but
そう
I don't agree. Yeah, I've got a friend. He kids me. He says, "You still living in the dark part of town, man?"
I don't know. そうかな。全然浅草エリアいいと思うけどね。
Oh yeah, Asakusa is very lively.
うん。
But
Ne-
yeah, you know, over here in the East Tokyo, man, it's where it's happening. Everybody's moving east. All the cool people.
ま
Man.
あまあまあ、確かに東京はね、特に新宿、池袋、渋谷とかは逆サイドですよね。うん、確かに浅草のあっちの方は、それと比べると確かにある、そういうちょっと、でもダークサイドかどうかなわかんないけど、まあ、下町だよね。
Shitamachi.
ね、下町。
Shitamachi. Those of you who don't know, Shitamachi means downtown, as in the old downtown. It kind of means old Tokyo.
Lex says 平和。
Heiwa.
平和の
Right,
漢字。
Lex. Heiwa no kanji. Sugoi. Hey, Lex, how you doing, man?
お久しぶりです。ね、
Lex was a guy who came to many of the live Fuglen events.
そうだね。
Yeah.
よく見に来てくださいましたよ。
Nah.
ね、で3回目のオンラインのゲスト、前回はですね、我々モーガン・フィッシャーさん、ね、
That's right. We've had Morgan here,
は
showing us some of the various aspects of his long and illustrious musical career. That was fun.
い、うん、
And yeah, all these past shows that we're talking about, by the way, you can still see them. I mean, right now we're live, but as soon as we're done, you can always just go to the page here at Daisuke's YouTube channel and find all these Bennett-Kuroda shows. So and actually we're happy to report that, you know, people do that. We come back Daisuke was just telling me he comes back in a month or two and sees, you know, there's another 100 views or something. So it's good to know that people are tuning in, maybe even later, if they can't tune in live. That's gratifying. We do it all for you, our fans. And we're dedicated to this thing, you know. We like some of you might have noticed, we were doing it once a week, and not right now. We've kind of stepped back from that. And we're doing it once a month for these special Tokyo Song Celebration events. Although me and Daisuke are talking about getting it back going again, and hopefully getting back into the same room again. You know.
そうだね。
And actually making music together again, like we were doing on the earlier shows before the pandemic. And that was always, you know, it's a little more fun, to be honest. You know, you play music, you're in the same room. It's not quite as, you know, zoomy. You know what I mean? Things are getting kind of zoomy. But yeah, man, Diego says, there are some big differences. The structure of Japanese ends with verbs and English with objects, so that changes the way a lyric holds suspense for the last word. That's a very good point there, man. Yeah. Man, I can't even I can't even imagine writing in Japanese. I mean, my Japanese is not great by any stretch. But even if it was really good, I just don't know if I could really write in Japanese. I don't know. Maybe I could. But it sure is impressive that Diego is doing it.
すごいと思いますね。やっぱり、まあ自分は曲を、その歌の曲を書くわけではないので、わからないけれども、日本語の人が日本語で歌詞をこう思い浮かべて書いてるんだったらわかるけど、ね、ディエゴさんとか、例えばサムさんが日本語で想像してそれで曲を書いてるって言ったらそれはすごいなと思うよね。なんかディエゴさんも言ってたけど、なんかhis friend, someone Japanese woman singer-songwriter, she writes music in English, right? But she's not really speaking English. Something
not
like that.
Speaking English. Yeah, he told us that story, and I think that was part of the interview that didn't make it into the final cut here. I think we talked a long time, and I don't think we included that bit. I don't think so, but
okay.
But that was interesting, and Diego was talking about a Japanese singer and songwriter who sings in English and I guess writes her stuff in English, but doesn't actually really speak English.
それも面白いよね。なんかね。
That's very interesting. Now Diego, on the other hand, is a dedicated student of Japanese and is speaking Japanese well already. After only 3 years here. So Diego says, "Write something in Japanese, Sam." I don't know, Mr. Davidenko. I don't know. He says, "You'll never know until you try." That's true. Can't argue with that.
Wait. One before he says also in English I can immediately think of words that match a melody. そうだね。But in Japanese I have to write sentence first.
Sentence.
And then
have to write a sentence first, then change it to fit the melody because I'm not so good at Japanese yet.
Interesting. そうだね。なんかちょっと違うのかな、プロセスがね。やっぱりone step, two steps more かな。To adjust to make it work in his music.
Very challenging, I would think.
Also, he says, Rima Kato さんっていうのがさっき我々が言ってたね、シンガーソングライターの方みたいですね。
Rima Kato さん。Yeah, and here Lex says in Japanese, a lyricist possibly wants to say different things than they would writing in English. Discuss. Well, I mean, I suppose,
なんか、なんて言うんだっけ、この例えばその表現の仕方でさ、もちろんこう喋ってる内容とか、そういうのは日本語英語ってあるけど、日本語独特のやつって例えば雨が降ってて。雨が降ってるそのどれぐらいの強さで雨が降ってるのかっていうのを日本はさポツポツ降ってるとかザーザー降ってるとかなんかそのサウンドはすごく日本独特のものだよね。
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. In Japanese, you have all these specific words for certain types of physical. All sorts of things, really. I mean, Daisuke was just talking about rain and is potsu or za za, to describe if it's a hard rain or a light rain or and it's about the sound, really. Potsu, it's like the sound. Potsu, 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 potsu.
ちょっとのやつもね。Pretty hard ね。なんか
That's something really charming about Japanese that and there's just so many of those.
So many だね。So many.
Yeah.
今ちょっと雨でポツポツとか言ったけど、多分サラサラとかも言うかもしれない。
サラサラ。
多分。いっぱいね、too many だよね。
Yeah, to keep up with them is, or to remember them, and yeah, it's just a really interesting feature of the language that English doesn't really have, not even close, really. Yeah, Lex-san, yes, I think the two languages have a very different worldview and aesthetic. That's from Lula Bennett, although that could well be not Lula Bennett making that comment. I have a feeling it's my wife making that comment.
Okay. Okay.
And Lex says, Lula-san, yes, I agree. And I wonder how much a person changes character when they switch languages. Now that's a question. I think people change character quite a bit when they switch to Japanese, for example, here in Japan. One thing that comes to mind immediately is that when you're speaking to someone in Japanese and they're telling you, say, a story or something, it's important for you to very often say something, yes, like I understand, hi, そうですね。
そうだね。
はい。なるほど。はい。And in English, you don't really need to do that so much. You don't have to keep saying like, oh, yes, I understand. Right. I got you.
Yeah.
Yes. But in Japanese, you kind of need to do that. It's just the way people relate to each other. So that's already one thing that you change your character in order to effectively, speak in Japanese to people and have it and have the interaction feel good, So that's just one small thing.
確かに。
So yeah, language, man.
あとさ、日本語はさ、敬語があるでしょ。
敬語、どういう意味敬語？
敬語ポライトの。
Oh, sure, yeah. 丁寧語、
敬語とか。
Yeah.
それは、ね、だいぶ違うよね。
違う。
普通に日本人で、これはね、エイジプロブレムありますね。とか、先輩システムありますから。
That's right.
If I talk to older people, I gotta change the way speak in Japanese a little bit. No, special Japanese way だから。And I think when you study Japanese, you guys also study this way, this polite way, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of slow you down, kind of conversation way. It's very yes way kind of.
Yeah, it's really kind of formal.
Formal. Yeah. That's also
like
one thing I think.
Yeah, that's a big. It's kind of. I guess it's a bit of a problem, really. Like you say, because people studying Japanese learn these forms, and it's every verb is like mas this and mas that, and wakarimasu this and masu that, and then you find it actually people don't really speak like that, and not in most situations, especially with friends and stuff.
Right.
But this is all stuff that you gradually learn after being here for a long time, and I'm sure that with the sense that Diego has for language and for the culture here, I think he's probably already so far on the way to becoming just really, really fluent in Japanese and doing it really well, and writing songs in Japanese. Maybe he'll become a star in Japan. It's possible.
I hope so.
Yeah, become big.
Change the Japanese music, please.
yeah. Make it better. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap out there, man. And Diego's stuff is not crap. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, man. Well, maybe it's time to get back to the interview, huh?
ディエゴさんに戻ってきてもらいましょう。そしたら。
Part 2.
Part 2.
Well, so Shizuka Nako was not your latest release. Your latest is Naisho Goto?
Naisho Goto, yes.
Uh-huh. And Daisuke, you can tell us, what does Naisho Goto mean?
内緒事はですね、secret ですね。our secret ね。
Our secret.
うん。
Yeah, well,
でも、lyrics は、ね、歌詞は、his lyrics is kind of lovers だよね。I think.
Yeah, it's a love song. It's one of my more like upbeat, happy songs. Usually most of the songs I write are more like introspective and thinking about like the sadder areas of life. I find those more interesting to explore in music. And when I do have kind of happier songs, there's usually like a hint of irony in there that like, yeah, I'm happy, but really, what is happiness? Like something. But yeah, no, this song is it's just a positive song, I think.
Yeah, it's just straight up happy.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Well, let's on that note, let's roll the video for Naisho Goto. We'll come back and talk about it a little more. Daisuke, let's roll it.
So 目を閉じればここにいるから寂しくて悲しい時でも目を閉じればここにいる君が目覚めた時もし一人ぼっちになっていたらその時もただ目を閉じればまた僕らは一緒にいる心配しないでよ僕もしないから見なくてもわかる僕らは大丈夫星たちのように僕と君も同じなんだよ遠くてもこの夜空にいる僕も君もいつも誰もわからない言葉が出てくるでも君にははっきりわかるそれは僕と君のいつまでも守る内緒ごと
So, there it was. Naisho Goto.
内緒事。
Thank you.
Our secret. Now that, talk about charming videos. There's another one, man. What a great idea. Just having this paper airplane fly through the, all across Japan. Was that your idea?
So this song is really so I worked with my partner Ain on this, and she's involved at so many levels because I wrote the song for her.
Oh.
So the song is, it's about even though we're far away, like it's all right. We're still kind of together. And like the main line that mostly we kind of it comes closest to repeating is, if you close your eyes, we're right here. And she had gone back to Vietnam to visit her family, and so I wrote this song for her when she was over there.
Oh, sweet.
And
that's so sweet.
And then and then she's the one that's singing the it's not really harmony, but like doubling my voice at the octave. So that's her, an Argentinian American and a Vietnamese singing in Japanese.
Yeah, wow.
That's cool. Yeah,
really international.
And then, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, just then we also and then we worked on the video together. So the video was a collaboration entirely with us, and just coming up with the concept, and just the concept just evolved, and we took the pictures and edited it together, and
great.
Yeah, it was.
I thought she is a Japanese. I didn't know who was singing, so I thought you asked some Japanese woman to sing with. I didn't know she was Vietnamese.
Cool. I'll let her know. She'll be thrilled.
Yeah.
日本語すごい上手です。
Yeah, and also in addition to Nihongo Jozu, her singing is lovely, and it's not easy to pull off unison singing that's that well in tune. I mean, you two sound like one mind. Unison singing is like that's not easy.
My kid brother, when he heard it, had this beautiful analogy. He said hearing the two voices reminded him of when like a father and like a young daughter dance, and she puts her feet on top of her father's feet, and so they move exactly step by step.
Yeah.
Well,
you
I want to
two
steal that and put it in a song. It's such a cool,
you should.
Such a nice image.
The two of you were so locked on it, it really is kind of like that. It's just so good. I was really impressed.
Thank you.
And was that you doing the whistling?
That's me doing the whistling. Yeah.
That's another thing, man. Whistling in tune is not easy either.
It's not easy.
Did you have to do a lot of takes to get it right, or?
I did so many takes.
Yeah. Whistling is really tough.
It's the one thing that even like just before release, I decided now I gotta go back and do it again.
Yeah. Getting pitch with whistling is. I mean, that's why there's professional studio whistlers. That just do that. It's really difficult. I've done it every now and then on a couple, 2 or 3 songs, and it's just forget it. Takes a lot of takes to get it right, man. Whistling. Like,
the problem is like if you record it on the track, you're gonna do it live every time, right?
Oh god, no way. Yeah, there's a really famous New Orleans tune that I do with my New Orleans band, which is by Professor Longhair, and that's a tune where his little whistling part is very famous. But I don't even try. I don't try to do that live because there's keys that I can sing well in, but I can't whistle in. And so for one thing, but just whistling is just tough, man. It's just tough to be in tune, Well, so Naishogoto and Shizuka Nako are the two, songs that we are featuring tonight as videos of Diego's. But Diego has a lot of material out there in the world for you to listen to. And I listened to some more of it that Diego sent along, and I think Daisuke did too. And one thing, Diego, that struck me was, which you had already kind of mentioned yourself just a few minutes ago, which is that most of your material, unlike Shizuka Nako and Naishogoto, lyrically speaking, has definitely got a lot more irony in it, a lot more, and I don't mean sort of like clever, cheap irony either. I mean like you were saying, is like there's something about like happiness, and then you kind of go like, what? Should I really be this happy or so? He's always kind of like questioning your emotion, in a really, I think often in a funny way, or a quite introspective way, where you're really kind of stepping back and looking at your thoughts and feelings and discussing them from a very oddly objective viewpoint, considering that it's your own thoughts you're talking about. So I find that to be really a hallmark of a lot of your songs, and I think it's fantastic.
Thanks. That's how a lot of them, where a lot of them come from. I don't know. I kind of like I'm interested in the idea that we sort of categorize our feelings in these, like I feel sad, and like we all kind of understand what that means. But there's, thousands or infinite versions of sad.
Sure.
And when I'm feeling a particular type of sad, I'm so interested to find out what that is and record it, like no pun intended, but like it just get it on record, like get it and figure out what it is. And there's something about I studied music composition, but I don't consider myself a composer, and I write lyrics, but I don't consider myself a poet. There's something about writing songs that's particularly well suited, I think, for exactly that, for just taking a very specific instance of an emotion, and the combination of the music and the meaning of the words and the sound of the word and the combination and the the melody and the chords, just like really, I don't know, like I think the music that I respond to is music that does that, and that like when I hear it's like, that guy just he just, or he or she just hit the nail on this feeling that I've had that there's never been a word for, and it can't be described in a word. It can only be described in this song.
Yeah.
That fascinates me.
From the songs of yours that I've heard, I think you've got a really great handle on getting states of mind or emotion or across that are pretty complex. It's not just I feel happy today, or I'm totally bummed out. It's always kind of all sorts of shades in between, and that's really refreshing because generally speaking, my own inclinations are not. I don't really go for songs that are so emotional on my feelings, because they're usually kind of banal or saying the same old thing, whether it's I'm in love or I'm bummed out because I'm not in love, or all these kind of basic sort of songwriter-y type canned emotions or something. But I find your writing really refreshing in that regard, I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess also just like, for example, some of the songs from In an Empty Home, they're of course markedly different from the two songs that we're featuring tonight on the show. As you mentioned, Naishogoto is just a sweet love song, and that it's that's what it's about. And Shizuka Nako is a charming, somehow wistful, portrait of a young woman, I suppose, or a person who's going about her life in the sort of tiptoeing through the tulips or something. There's something very sweet about both of those tunes. But your material from In an Empty Home has got a lot more shades of gray and in it. And I like both actually.
Yeah, so the next 3 songs that I'm planning to record, Japanese songs, are getting back to that. I don't want to say like negative kind of, because I don't find them negative, but a more critical examination of the state of being alive. Let's say, and so. I think part of it has just been the evolution of my Japanese. It's hard to express a subtle concept in a language that I'm not that good at. So,
of course.
So I feel that as my Japanese is improving, I'm able to lyrically get back into what I guess what excites me more intellectually or emotionally, and then the music kind of corresponds to that. So
that's very cool.
I know one more your Japanese song, 冬に聞く
冬にできるのは。
冬にできるのは。That one is also a little bit 寂しい kind of song, right? But still, your Japanese song is something cute, like, you know, the melody and changes, and your arpeggio kind of approach is, you know, something cute. And I hear, when I listen to that in the empty room, the songs, I hear more kind of aggressive approach. I'm not sure, like something you write different because language is different. Your sound guitar approach is there. Did you think, you know, it's a different approach?
Oh, totally. Yeah, the 2017 record is definitely just got a totally different sort of vibe to it than those brand new Japanese songs.
Yeah, I think it might be more. I'm much more confident in English. So that might be it. I think I might be happier in Japan.
Now, see, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Are you just happier? Your songs are happier, man.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also aware that, you know, these are only 2 songs that we're talking about. And Daisuke mentioned the third one. And that's still you know, that's only 3 songs, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that, I don't think that from now on you'll suddenly be writing nothing but happy little numbers. You know? and indeed you've already told us that you're trying to explore something a little, you know, more complex or whatever in your new stuff.
You know, one of my kind of, I don't know if inspiration or just something that gave me the courage to do this is there's a Japanese singer-songwriter named Rima Kato.
Rima Kato.
Yeah, Rima Kato. And she writes entirely in English. And she writes like these just super sweet and sad and touching songs in English. And I met her once. I went to a release show and I tried to talk to her. And she doesn't speak any English, you know. She speaks like very, very little English, but she's
writing in English.
But she's writing these songs in English.
Wow.
She her grammar is generally good, but there's a little bit of awkwardness to it. Like a native speaker would never say this. But the way she does it in the totality of the song is just enchanting. And and hearing her music gave me the confidence to say, like, yeah, I'm never going to speak like a Japanese person speaks. I'm never going to express myself that way. But I am who I am. You know, I am a foreigner living in Japan with limited Japanese, and you know, I have something to say too. Like, and I don't know. So there might just be something about writing in a foreign language that necessarily colors a song in a certain way.
I really understand what you mean. I can tell your kind of personality through your Japanese, you know, kind of kind, soft,
cool,
big heart, kind of, you know, thing, you know? Yeah, すごい優しい人っていう感じ。すごいだから、I really like your Japanese singing.
Thank you.
I think also another thing that just brings that home, what you say, Daisuke, that is also to me, Diego's really very unaffected delivery, vocally speaking. I don't think when you sing, it doesn't strike me that you're putting on some kind of now I'm singing kind of persona. It just sounds almost like you're talking. You know?
そうだね。Yeah.
And I think that is a, you know, extremely disarming approach. Like when I hear someone sing like you're doing, I'm like, wow, this is really not any kind of like put on or anything. It's just this is exactly what this guy wants to say, and he's doing it in a way that's not trying to, you know, sound like anything other. Not trying to sound like anything other than, you know, himself, which is it's refreshing and nice, and I think it draws people in, you know, to your stuff. Yeah.
すごいナチュラルで。
Thank you.
自然体。
Nice. Yeah.
いいですね。
I mean, I think, I don't know, when I was starting out, I think I just felt that I couldn't sing, you know, even if I pretended to be like a good singer, I would never be able to pull it off, you know. I just, and so, I don't know, there's, you know, the people I used to listen to when I was in high school or college, artists like Beck and Bright Eyes by Conor Oberst.
Don't know Bright Eyes,
but you know, like their voice works so well for what they do. But you know, I wouldn't necessarily want to hear them like cover a song that requires, you know, virtuosic singing.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
But in the same way that I wouldn't try to cover Queen, you know, like it wouldn't work. But
right.
But so maybe my songwriting also just sort of grew around my voice.
One other aspect which I mentioned earlier to Daisuke when we were talking about your stuff was that well, you have such refreshing and often unexpected sort of chord changes, and they're often married to melodies that just they go to places where you know, less imaginative people just wouldn't go. You know, so is there anything you can tell us about like your sort of approach to like structure or harmony of song, you know, chordal movement and stuff? I mean, where'd you pick up some of that stuff? You say you studied composition.
I did study composition. So studying composition really gave me a way of like understanding what I'm doing. And so I think generally my process is to do something, and at the moment that it sounds too predictable, it annoys me. And so at that moment I try to do something, either change the melody or you know, sometimes it's as simple as just I'm going to hold the note for one more beat than my than I normally would, and that
Uh-huh.
creates like, or this chord is just, it's so obvious that this chord is going to resolve here, let's resolve it somewhere else. And so the study of composition helped me to, when I feel like this moment doesn't work or this moment's boring, to analyze it enough to figure out what it is that's kind of not feeling right, and also what possibilities there could be for exchanging it. I grew up musically like on the Beatles, and then some of the first bands I listened to were, I don't know if you know this, They Might Be Giants.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're just incredibly creative in every aspect of their music. And then there's a band called Ween I used to listen to, and also Beck, one like those were, and I don't know, I think they kind of set the model for me of this idea of don't do what everybody else would do.
Well, gosh, what else do you want to tell us about? What are you doing? What do you got some songs coming up that you're going to record?
Yeah, I got some songs coming up that I'm going to record. So I just moved into this new apartment.
I see you've got some soundproof, some baffles.
Yeah, I just got those, and so I'm
cool.
converting this room into a studio.
Nice.
Cool.
And hopefully I'll be recording those songs soon, and putting them out there. There's there's this guy, he goes by Moksori. I think Moksori. It's a Korean word that I think means, I'm not sure. Sorry to my any Korean listeners. I think it means voice, like throat sound or something like that. But that's his like online name. I think, I'm not even sure. I think maybe he's from Indonesia, but he's got this these playlists that he makes on YouTube of Japanese indie folk songs. And he picked up, they're pretty big artists within the Japanese indie folk scene. And somehow like he found my music and put it on there.
Excellent.
And so now these couple songs, these two that I sent, have a substantial audience on Spotify and YouTube.
Yay.
In Indonesia, Malaysia, and like in Southeast Asia, but really kind of like all over the world. Like there's people, but it's interesting. I came to Japan, started writing songs in Japanese to connect with Japanese audience, and those are the songs that are having success by people who don't speak Japanese.
The irony.
So I don't know where that came from, but just yeah. So with that in mind, I don't know. It's the first time that I'm sort of having some kind of excitement in the world of listeners.
Oh, nice.
So
that's
I
great.
I don't know how to how to exploit it, and without the negative connotation, like what to do. So I'm just gonna record these songs and put them out there, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about all us musicians can do. I mean, unless you've got lots of really good connections with music business people around the world, which we don't, then I guess we just have to make our music and try to keep getting it out there. And what else is there to do, right?
Yeah.
Try to be happy in the meantime.
Exactly. Hi. There you have it. Part 2.
なんかディエゴさんがインドネシアの方の YouTube アカウントの人がこうプレイリストなんか J-pop playlist or something, and then he's on it,
That's pretty cool.
なんか全然日本語わかんない人たちの間ですごくこうちょっと話題になったっていうか人気っぽくなったっていう話してて
That's pretty cool, man.
面白いよねなんか
Got fans in Indonesia listening to an American Argentinian living in Japan and singing in Japanese and oh my god.
ねなんかすごい面白いなんかそのエピソードがなんかねなんか English で、if he sing in English and write in English, maybe that's kind of, maybe Japanese people start to listen.
Right, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. All the, なんか concept of mission is kind of opposite way to work somehow.
There's no predicting what will happen with music,
right.
you know.
You never know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
So we got another comment here from Lula Bennett who says, I love what Diego said about non-native speakers writing in a foreign language. It will be great to have more non-Japanese people writing in Japanese. The language can grow in a whole new direction.
That's そうだね
Yeah, that's a really good point.
うん
The more influences you have coming into a culture and a language, the more it's going to change, you know?
そうだね
Yeah. Mel says, great interview. See you later. Ciao.
チャオ
Ciao. See you, Mel. Lex says, well, Sam has all but promised to write a song in Japanese, so that'll be a start. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Slow down, Lex. I promised no such thing. Or you can't, you no. You can't bully me. Maybe I should try, though.
うん
I might get around to it. Daisuke you'd probably like it if I tried that, right?
Yeah
What do you think?
Yeah. I will love it. Yeah, I have some songs I want Sam to cover the Japanese songs.
That's right. Yeah,
You
we've
can
talked
start,
about that a little
You
bit.
can start that, first, before actually writing something. You can maybe try practicing a Japanese song cover,
Right. Yeah, just
a
practice singing.
Yeah.
Singing in Japanese.
Yeah. Singing in Japanese, that's already hard thing, right?
I would think so, man.
Ah.
I don't feel like it's part of my personality. Not really. I mean, I can kind of speak, as you know, I can kind of speak some Japanese, but to actually sing in Japanese and do it like and be convincing, I don't know. I don't feel it. But then again, I won't feel it until I try it. That's for sure. It's not like you're just going to feel it. Oh, suddenly you wake up and say, I want to sing in Japanese. That won't happen.
そうだね Yeah.
Oh. Paul Morris says, haha, we have the evidence. Oh, man. Now Paul is ganging up on me. And oh, man. Lula says, Sam sings Anka. Ooh, Anka. Now, I like Anka.
あ、そ
Yeah,
うへ
I like Anka.
え演歌
I think
か
Anka is I mean, it's totally uncool, but I think it's cool. You know what I mean? I mean, I always liked old-fashioned country music too, which a lot of people think is uncool.
うん
I mean, a lot of jazz musicians or something are like, country music? Are you kidding me, man? But I always loved country music.
Yeah.
And I like Anka too. It's kind of like the country music of Japan.
うんその通りだね
でしょ？
うんその通りだね
なんかちょっと似てるでしょ？
うん
アメリカンクラシックカントリーミュージックと演歌はちょっと似てるでしょ？
まあ ideally かなIt's not
Ideally.
It's not sounds similar at all.
And well, no, I guess I think it's just more about maybe the subject matter and the kind of words, the kind of I don't know. Or maybe it's all just in my mind. Somehow I draw this connection between enka and American, classic country music. Not even sure why. Maybe it's just in my head.
Maybe there is some common thing. Maybe.
Well, yeah. Now, listen, man. This has been a really nice show. I know both Daisuke and I really enjoyed talking with Diego, and we think Diego's just fantastic, man. And we hope that you out there in internet land will check out those links in the video description. Check the links. Because he's got a lot of great music, and even if you were like, oh, I can't listen to Japanese, I want to hear him sing in English. Well, you can do that. You can hear him sing in English, a lot of songs, and they're really cool. So there you have it. Now, Daisuke, we'll be back here for sure a month from now.
May
2nd.
11th.
May 11th. The second Tuesday.
はい。
Second Tuesday in May. We will be back with another edition of Tokyo Song
Celebration.
Celebrate. Yeah.
そうですね。
And
毎月、2週目の火曜日にね、東京ソングセレブレーションオンラインやりますので、次回5月11日でございます。
that's right. We'll be back. We're not sure who our guest is going to be yet, but as soon as we know, we'll announce it, and we'll let everybody know, and we'll do it again. So this has been your host, Sam Bennett, and
大輔黒田でございました。
Yes.
はい、ありがとうございまし
あ
た。
Thanks for listening. Thanks
じゃあ
for watching.
また来月です。よろしくお願いします。あと両 A 面シングル、なんだっけ、double A side single by
Double A side single.
Bennett-Kuroda,
Double A side single.
Sam
Go check
Bennett, Bandcamp.
Sam Bennett, Bandcamp.com. Check our single, our new single, 2 new songs. Check them.
お
Buy
願いし
them.
ます。
Make us rich. Thank you.